This is a simple introduction of the RELEARN platform. It's basically a platform for learning. Part of the basic and idea of RELEARN is that we are able to use social feed type or feed type design to post stuff. As you can see here, I've got a poll, I've got a video, I've got some maths that I've been sharing, etc. So the feed becomes the place where the learner gets to interact with content, either the content that has been posted or posting content, or working with the educator who would post content and the learners can sort of engage with that content. So that is one basic part. And I'm going to look at the two aspects of the feed area. First, if I want to create an update, I will go here and open the update composer. And I can post for everyone, or I can post for teachers, or I can post for learners. I can post for mathematics or physical sciences at the moment, but you can add different subjects. So it's not really limited to mathematics and science. And I can post for different grades. At the moment, we're looking at grade 5 to grade 12. I'm not sure if we can go as down as grade 1. And then, of course, you can post anything here. Powerful about this is that when you are to write mathematics, you can use Control M to enter and create whatever mathematical expression that you want to create using MathLive, or if ever you want to do more, you can actually get the keyboard. You don't really need this keyboard most of the time, but there are cases, for example, if you want to do integration, which we are not really doing at school level, and then if you want to do square roots are a bit tricky if you're using math type input, so you then have to use this particular icon here. And of course there are many other parts of this that you can use, but I hardly use the keyboard at all. This is usually enough. For example, if I want to write 30 degrees, I'll write 30, then I'll say \degree, and then I have degree that I can select from here. Okay, this did not go well. Let's just write the whole degree, and I get the degree that I want from there. So just to show you that you can input whatever form of math that you want to put into the composer. And of course, once you've written it, it will look like this with dollar delimiters to indicate to the code that this is maths. And when it is rendered, it will then look like maths, as you would know that this is how you would type maths. So that's one part which is quite powerful about the RELEARN platform. But also you have options here to just post or to create a task. And of course, a task will have the date, due date or whatever. It will either be in progress, completed, or cancelled. It will be specifically assigned to a certain person. If it is assigned to a person, you could maybe even have a task for a class. A simple case that this is what is doing. We have this assignment being submitted on this day. And you can have events. If ever you want to share some events on the platform, you have the start date and time, end date and time, and of course you can have location or a link. And then you can have a poll, and the poll can be used also as a quiz. And I'm going to talk more about that in the in future videos. But for now, you are able to type your question here, and you can put options, and options you are able to add as many options as you want. And of course you can choose that the options are a multi-select. In that case, a person can select more than one response, or you can just leave it unchecked to say you can only select one response. So that is basically this part, the composer. And once you've got the composer, you can then attach files. Now, when you attach files, they will of course show as attachments. As you can see, this diagram here, this question was attached. This was also attached. So these attachments will show below the text of the post that you have. And if you have a YouTube video like I have here, this YouTube video, you don't really need to do anything special except just paste the URL. The platform is designed such that it will be able to read the URL and see that it is a YouTube video. So that is basically the composer part, and I'm going to close it. And then you can see the polls that I was talking about. I've got two selections here. And of course, another person is selected. I can see my selection as active, but this I cannot see as active, but I can see that there's one vote that went into this and there's no vote that has gone to this yet. Now, that is the part of the posts. Now I need to go to the other part, which is the collaborations. The collaborations are meant to allow people to sort of collaborate. We would have maybe thought about them as a chat platform where people are communicating back and forth. But the difference is that these are structured. And if they are structured, it actually means that there are there's specific content that you respond to, or specific points that you respond to. For example, this is the point that we're talking about. And of course, the person or the users can respond here. Ideally, that will be the learners. Just simple clicking here allows you to input a response, and the response can also have maths like this. And you can go on to add more points to the discussion, or as you'll see, if you go here, this is where you create the collaboration. The collaboration can either be open or closed. Now, if it is closed, it is only allowing certain points to be discussed. You don't go outside of those points. And of course, if you look here, it says replies are visible to all participants or to creator and replier. Now, this means if in case you want only to be the only one who created the collaboration to see responses, and of course the person to see his or her responses, then you will choose this. But if you want the discussion to be such that everyone can see what the other person has said or has replied to each of the points, then you will allow all participants to see. And this is quite important, because this means you can allow learners to respond knowing that they do not share whatever responses they have with others. Some might want to have their responses private, but of course that will be determined by the teacher. And again, you can then specify if the collaboration is for everyone, the subjects and the grades, and you can then write the information here. And then, of course, you can attach any files and you can start the collaboration. So almost the same like the post, but a bit specific, that it will allow you to provide a title. You will be able to set the presentation as open. Of course, you can also indicate who should be part of the collaboration by writing emails here. So if I write emails here, it will then tell me that there is this person, there is the person found. So this is the only person that will be part of this collaboration. Now, other people won't be able to be part of the collaboration. So you can add them like this, but we're looking also at a case where you can add the whole class or certain groups and so on. So that is basically what collaborations are about. And of course, there are many other things that you can do, but I'm going to end this part here so that we can then discuss the left sidebar and the right sidebar. But this is the feed. Everything else will come in here. The nice thing about the feed is the fact also that you can attach topics, questions, and so on from the folders in the left sidebar. If I click here, this will open a topic or a question. This is a question in this case. So I can see that there's this question which is discussed from the sidebar, from the questions in the sidebar, but I accessed it just directly from the collaboration feed, and therefore if I go back here, I'll be able to see that this question is here. So attaching this question sort of allows you to focus on specific questions for learners, or allows me as a tutor to share certain specific questions or topics or concept cards that I want them to read, instead of just saying go to and find this particular concept card or this question. In this case, I just share it here, and when I've shared it here, the learner can use it or can access it in the feed, just like accessing the post and the collaboration. Let's just stop there for now. And I'm going to discuss the sidebars, which are sort of the organizing features of the RELEARN platform.